Hello, welcome. So today we are going to be learning about finding the area of a right triangle. I know there is some stimulus happening on either side of me. We have some writing here, we have some art here, but our focus is going to be right here in this whiteboard. So with that being said, we are going to learn about the area of right triangles today. I specify right triangles because not every type of triangle is going to adhere to this formula. Some of them are a little bit wonky, but we are going to be looking at this. So normally when dealing with right triangles, they are shaped in a way that is very similar to a half of a square. For example, say you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and it is a square. Well, what if you want to find the area of only half of that sandwich? You could cut it in half like this, right? We could also cut it in half diagonally. So if we're cutting it in half diagonally, and we know that the formula for this entire square, so we'll say area of square is going to be equal to the length times the width. And this we know. But when we are dealing with triangles, it's going to be 1/2 of that length times width, right? Because each of these sides is equal to 1/2. So if I have a right triangle, I am going to do the same thing. I want to multiply my length times my width, only this time we're not going to call it length times width. They're called base times height. So in this case, you have your base and you have your height. Now the height is the side of the triangle that is longer. It is adjacent to the base. You also have your piece right here. This is called the hypotenuse. That's not something we're going to worry about right now. We're not worried about the hypotenuse because we're not using the hypotenuse. We're just going to focus on base and height. So just like we did with the square, we have length times width. And just like we're doing with the triangle, we have base times height. Only we have to half our answer or multiply it by 1/2 because we only have half of our square, right? So in this case, we have base, excuse me, I always make my cursive B's wrong. Base times height times 1/2. Or rather, base times height divided by 2. That is our formula for the area of a right triangle. We are also going to give an example. So say that I have a triangle, and this triangle has a base of 3, right? And it has a height of 6. All I have to do here is I need to multiply my base times my height, just like we do, right? So base times height times 1/2. So now I'm just going to fill in each of these numbers into my formula. So I end up with 6 times 3 equals 18. And now I have to take this answer and multiply it by 1/2 or else divide it by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9. So the area for this triangle is 9 units squared. And we want to make sure that we are labeling our units in units squared because we are finding the inside of the triangle, not just the perimeter. We're also not finding the volume because it's a 2-dimensional figure and not a 3-dimensional figure. Thank you.